All right. Good evening, everybody, and welcome to the Johns Hopkins Anesthesiology and Critical Care Medicine Hollywood Squares. This is a time where we can get to know all of our residency, assistant, and associate program directors. First up, Dr. Gillian Isaac.
Hi, my name is Dr. Gillian Isaac. Everyone calls me Gillian. That's what I prefer. I'm originally from New York City, but my dad was foreign service, which means I lived a lot of different places. I lived in Bangkok, Thailand, and London, England. I was in Singapore, Malaysia, before coming stateside. And what we learned when we ended up in Langley, Virginia, that instead of foreign service, my dad was part of the CIA. Yeah, I went to college in Utah because my dad is from Utah and his whole family lives in Utah. I did a PhD first because I thought I was going to be a research scientist. I did that at Georgetown. I got a few years in and I thought not the right career path for me. I went to medical school in New York, my hometown, my home city, which was so much fun and I loved it. I met my husband there. He is Trinidadian. He also went to medical school in New York City. At Johns Hopkins, I am the Associate Residency Program Director for the Anesthesiology Residency. I am also the Fellowship Director for Obstetric Anesthesiology. My interests obviously are obstetric anesthesiology, but in terms of the residency, I'm very interested in residency test taking and how to improve test scores, residency wellness. I also, I don't know, what else? Can we stop? Can you edit things out?
And you also happen to have the last name, the maiden last name of Newman of Seinfeld fame.
Wait, we're not editing this out?
Puppy.
We're not editing this out. All right, next up is Dr. Anna Gitterman.
I wasn't done.
Okay, continue, Dr. Isaac.
All right, I have 3 kids. My oldest is 26. She's a girl. She is interested in real estate and property management. That's what she's doing right now. I have 2 sons. My oldest one is just about to turn 13. He plays soccer at a very competitive level. We're heading out to San Diego next week to play in our national playoffs. Then I have a 10-year-old. He is going into 5th grade and he is my artist. He loves to draw and perform. I love spending time with my family. I love being a mother. I'm very interested in work-life balance. I also like to run and play the piano. I sing not well, but I enjoy doing it.
And did you forget to mention your dogs?
I have 2 dogs, Duke and Finn. They are 2-year-olds, golden doodles. I just found out today that one of them has Addison's disease.
But it's going to be fine because you can replace that in dog.
It will be fine. I know, but my poor puppy.
All right, Dr. Gitterman, let's hear about your corgi in addition to your daughter and the rest of it.
Hi, everybody. My name is Anna Gitterman. I am one of the newest now, assistant program director. I'll be starting my 2nd year come September, I suppose. I, unlike Gillian, am a Maryland native. I haven't gone far. I grew up in Rockville, Maryland, then moved to UMBC, which is the University of Maryland, Baltimore County, for college, came over to Maryland for medical school, and then Hopkins for residency. So I plan to be in Maryland forever. My family's here. In terms of, let's see, Hopkins life, I graduated residency in 2020, did an obstetric anesthesia fellowship in 2021, and then joined on as faculty after that. My jobs in the residency are primarily running the oral board prep course and also working on scheduling in one of our operating room areas. Outside of the hospital, I have my amazing family. I have my husband, who I met 9 years ago now. We got married 5 years ago. We just celebrated our 5th anniversary. And then I have a daughter who's 18 months, who we have managed to keep alive for 18 whole months, which now having a toddler, I realize I'm pretty proud of that fact because I feel like we don't go a day without, a haphazard. And I have
how many ER visits have you had in that time?
None. Don't jinx me yet. None yet.
That is quite an accomplishment.
Yet. Maybe we should have taken her once and we just didn't. So maybe.
Is she in daycare yet?
Not yet.
Oh, there you go.
Exactly. Coming soon in September will be our daycare experience. I have a corgi and a cat, so my house often feels like a zoo, but I wouldn't trade it for anything.
All right, Big Money Banks, you're up next, sir.
All right. Hi, my name is Michael Banks. I am the Vice Chair for Diversity, Equity, and Inclusion. It's kind of hard. It's kind of like, when you're a weather person, you have to figure out how to do all that. Yeah, there you go. Anyway, I'm also assistant residency program director. I am from New Jersey originally, South Orange, New Jersey, born and raised. I'm a Yankees fan, love the Yankees, first place, and a Giants fan. It's a tough time. Anyway, so after graduating from high school, I went to Johns Hopkins University, Homewood campus. I graduated there in '92, and then proceeded on to University of Pittsburgh School of Medicine. I graduated there in '97, and then went on to do a residency in general surgery at the University of Maryland. Those were some tough times, and after some period, I had some enlightenment and an epiphany that anesthesiology was for me. And so I switched to anesthesiology, where I completed my program in 2003, and then I did at University of Maryland, and then I did a critical care fellowship at Hopkins in 2004. And after completing my fellowship, I was an attending at the University of Pennsylvania for about 5 years. It was a great time, loved it, but came back to Baltimore for a family in 2011. And there met my wife, Melissa, and I have 3 children. So I have a daughter who's 20. I have another daughter who is 13. She just turned 13, and a son who is 7, excuse me. And it's been, keeping kids alive for that many years is a challenge. It puts gray hairs on you. And you lose your hair too.
I was going to say, Dr. Banks, you and I, we don't have much gray. Yeah.
So what are my interests here at Hopkins? My interests are diversity, equity, inclusion. So I do a lot of different, I'm vice chair of the ACCM DEI committee, and we have a lot of different activities and programs running for fellows, educational programs for fellows, residents, medical students, and faculty. In addition, we do a lot of community outreach and a lot of networking in trying to promote inclusion and health equity within ACCM and also within the community of Baltimore, where we work and live. And I would love to have all of you come and meet with me and participate in some of the activities that we do. Thank you.
All right, tough act to follow. I am Dave Berman. I am the last of the APDs at Hopkins to be introduced. I am originally from New York, and then my parents made the unforgivable decision to move to New Jersey when I was young, but moved back to New York. Yeah, what a Jersey, but moved back to New York when I was in high school. I was at NYU for undergrad. I studied economics and jazz performance because I wanted 2 degrees that had absolutely nothing to do with anything that I do. And went to Mount Sinai for medical school and residency. And then I came to a small program in Baltimore for my OB anesthesia fellowship. I do a lot of OB anesthesia, a lot of anesthesia for hepatobiliary surgery. And then whatever else gets thrown my way. The residents like to joke that I'm a magnet for fecal material. I unfortunately get the world's worst cases. Despite my better judgment, I try so hard. I rarely do chest compressions. Maybe I should do them more than I do. In terms of my life outside of the hospital, I have a wife who is infinitely patient. I have a daughter who is 5, who just had her first ER visit. And I have a son who's 2.5, and I cannot keep up with him. The kid is just completely insane. He's adorable, but he's just completely nuts. In the residency program, I do a lot of teaching. I do a lot of our technological back-end stuff. I do a lot of our mentorship and career guidance and advice. And I'm, I think, most famously known as making a lot of dad jokes. That's about it from us. Thank you guys so much for tuning in, and we can't wait to meet you on interview day.